Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadashivam once again with you, and today we are going to talk about the fall of rupee owing to the Federal Reserve announcing possible interest rate hikes in the near future much before the expected time. In fact, the rupee has recorded its sharpest fall in 2 months and it has come down to approximately 74 rupees per dollar. So this is not something very specific to the rupee alone, because most currencies throughout the world they fell. But the issue is that rupee was the second worst affected in this fall, only next to the Korean won. Okay, so April 7th was of course the worst, when the rupee had touched around 74.5 rupees on account of the second wave of COVID in April and May, and these months have been worst months for us in terms of economic activity. Your lockdowns, of course, the regional lockdowns as opposed to the countrywide lockdowns during the last year, that had its effect. After that, what happened was the money started moving in tandem with the equity markets. All of us know that the equity markets have been growing continuously for the last 2 months, and we have talked about K-shaped recovery in one of the earlier videos where we talked about how the GDP is falling, but at the same time the stock market prices are continuously on the increase, which is something similar to a K-shaped recovery, right? Nevertheless, the GDP was falling, but the stock market is continuously increasing in the last 2 months, and along with that increase, the rupee was also getting strengthened itself, obviously because of a lot of factors, coupled with huge amounts of PFIs, that is portfolio investors money coming into India, right? But unfortunately, yesterday we saw the Sensex falling by approximately 179 points. So there were lots and lots of factors behind it, and one of the main factors that most economists find out is because the US interest rates are going to go up, as per the statement given by the Federal Chief Jerome Powell. He said that they are constrained to increase. They have not announced it formally. They have not formally announced this interest hike so far, but they said there could be a potential increase in the United States, probably because the inflation continues there, the commodity prices and all that. They mentioned an inflation rate of 2%, right? And he only said that if the inflation continues this manner, maybe 2%, then the Federal Reserve may be constrained to increase the interest rates just to keep inflation under control. So most economists are aware that whenever the interest rates in the US are increased, or if the bond rates are increased, the money starts flowing towards US, right? As a result of which there could be flight of capital, because all of that is hot money from the Indian stock markets, as a result of which we got to see one of the greatest fall in the stock market. Of course, it recovered. Today also it fell like anything, right? 300 points from 14,750 to 14,450, right? We have certain advantage, all said, and I'm talking about India. In kinds of exchange fluctuations, global spillovers, etc., they used to affect Indian economy to a great extent. Look at the year of 1991. We had huge issues in terms of foreign exchange reserves. In fact, that time we had foreign exchange reserves just to cover 3-4 days of imports, and that was a precarious situation we were in. 3 decades back, we're talking about 1991, but today we are in a much better shape, and we have reserves of more than $600 billion. This was announced last Friday formally by the Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das. There's no issue, but the issue is the short-term real interest rates are negative. The short-term real interest rates is what I'm talking about, and these kind of pressures on the currency will constrain the Reserve Bank of India to keep a check on the yield curve, because that's extremely important for the RBI to use all the instruments of credit control under them in order to satisfy two important objectives, because you need to take care of the growth momentum, growth impulses, while at the same time you need to keep your finger on the inflation, because both these move in opposite directions, and a very judicious handling of the situation is required in handling these two important aspects, growth and inflation. So in this kind of a situation, in negative real interest rates, there is a fear of stoking inflationary pressures in our country also. But yes, we can be very confident that in India the demand will grow because of the demographic factors, right? Your young population, your production, manufacturing, your productivity. So probably any inflation which happens in India is because of the demographic factors. Unlike the foreign countries, inflation is happening because of the aging population, geriatric fetus. There is some theory which talks about their pensions coming into, all that. So our inflation is very different from the inflation experienced in the other countries. So there's nothing unduly to be worried. But yes, stock market reacted yesterday, and to a large extent it reacted today also, guys. So let's see how things pan out. But everything is green for India. Everything is on the anvil, but just that we need to get over the second wave of COVID, and we will soon be on the growth path. And thank you so much. Jai Hind. This is Dr. Sadashivam signing off till we meet again. Bharat Mata Ki Jai.